When this couple decided to make a change, they couldn't have dreamed how their lives would be 18 months later. We all have hopes and dreams. For one young couple from Indiana, however, the realization that they would never be able to follow their dreams because of their weight and their unhealthy lifestyles hit them like a ton of bricks. They could have stayed on the couch stuffing themselves with junk food and soda as they watched their dreams crumble into dust. Instead, they decided enough was enough. To achieve your dreams, you have to work for them. That's what this young couple decided to do. What happened next is truly inspirational. Meet Lexi and Danny Reed. Lexi had always struggled with her weight right back from when she was a kid. Despite this, she was an outgoing and happy child who grew up into a kind and caring young woman. She tried multiple times to lose weight, but it was always to no avail. By the age of 25, Lexi weighed 392 pounds. She knew things couldn't carry on like this. Eventually, Lexi met Dani, and the two fell in love. Dani didn't judge Lexi, but loved her for the person she was. He knew exactly what she'd gone through, as he too had always struggled with weight issues his whole life. Unfortunately, getting together didn't do them any favors in the weight department. Their contentment led to even more problems. Dani and Lexi settled down together and were blissfully happy. Unfortunately, they got rather too comfortable, and their sedentary lifestyle soon made them put on even more weight. Their love of junk food and high-fat food led them to eat out every night at restaurants and fast food joints, and they began dining at all-you-can-eat buffets together, which just piled on more pounds. The two were feeding each other's habits, and it was all going to end in disaster unless something changed. Growing up, we never had a lot of money, and my parents never cooked, Lexi later said. Processed foods were always easier to purchase than healthy foods. It was a vicious circle that spiraled rapidly out of control. When Lexi and Dani got together, things just got worse. Lexi admitted the two spent hours in front of the TV, grazing on junk food. "I was always an emotional eater," Lexi said. "Also, and no matter what the mood, food was always there for me." It was the same for Dani. The two were just feeding each other's bad habits. Dani eventually decided to pop the question. Lexi couldn't believe it, and she gleefully accepted Dani's wedding proposal. Of course, there was the problem of where on earth to find a wedding dress that would fit her. By this stage, Lexi had ballooned to 485 pounds. Lexi told her Instagram followers that she was having a hard time finding the perfect dress. "Nobody knew how to make me feel like a bride, and not my size," she admitted. "Thank God I was strong enough to know my worth and kept searching for my 34W dress, even though I questioned if I would ever find one." But find one she did. Dani and Lexi got married, and their thoughts inevitably began to turn to the future. The pair knew that if they were going to achieve their dreams, things had to change. Not only were they painfully aware that pregnancy was dangerous for both mother and child for women of Lexi's size, but the young woman had always dreamed of going to the wizarding world of Harry Potter at Universal Studios in Orlando. Unfortunately, Lexi was too large to fit on the rides, or indeed on the airplane she'd need to fly to get there. Sadly, a year into married life, nothing had changed for Dani and Lexi. They were still stuck in front of the TV, binging on junk that they knew full well was making things worse, and making the prospect of fulfilling their hopes and dreams disappear further into the distance. Lexi was so disappointed with how her life was turning out, finally she reached a decision. On New Year's Day 2016, Lexi finally put her foot down. She had just one New Year's resolution that year: to get healthy and turn her and her husband's lives around. At first, Dani was reluctant when he heard of his wife's plan. At first, the idea didn't sound great because it was always good going home, sitting down, eating, and not having to worry about anything, he confessed. However, he soon had a change of heart when he realized this was his wife's dream. "It's a new year and something to work toward while helping Lexi out as well," he said. Lexi and Dani resolved to get fit, and when their friends heard about it, they decided to help them out by setting them a new fitness and healthy eating regime. No eating out, no soda, no alcohol, no cheat meals, and working out for 30 minutes 5 times a week, Lexi was told. It was going to be tough, but she and Dani were determined to stick to their regime their friends had come up with through hell and high water. They joined a gym in their hometown of Terre Haute, Indiana, and set to work. At first, it was hard to find the right exercise regime, as neither Dani nor Lexi had a personal trainer to guide them. They switched gyms a few times until they found one that was perfect for them. I started going there when I got a free trial, and since it was never really crowded, my machine faced the wall, so I didn't feel like everyone was watching me, said Lexi. I found a machine called the cross ramp that didn't hurt my joints at 485 pounds. I fell in love with it. It wasn't long before the couple started seeing results. Of course, it wasn't just the exercise that was beginning to transform the couple. They had to learn to completely change their eating habits. Out went the frozen pizzas and buckets of chicken, and in went fresh meat and vegetables as the pair learned to cook from scratch as opposed to slinging something into a microwave. It was hard giving up all those tasty snacks they adored, but it didn't take Lexi long to find a healthy workaround. I started taking the foods I loved and making healthier versions, so I no longer felt like I had to give something up or deprive myself, she said. It was an amazing discovery. At first, it was tough. The couple had gone from doing nothing but pigging out in front of the TV to exercising daily and cooking and eating all their meals, as opposed to heading out to Burger King or McDonald's. They found it incredibly hard to make such a massive adjustment, but luckily they had each other's support. When one faltered, the other would provide a shoulder to cry on, and vice versa. They were determined now. This was going to happen, regardless of how hard it would be. It wasn't long before the results started paying off. The pair were becoming visibly slimmer. Lexi was delighted. She even enrolled in classes at her gym and began to meet lots of new friends who spurred her on to achieve greater and greater results. I love my pulse class, she said. I love dancing to my favorite music and not feeling like it's a workout. We can do a song full of squats, and even though my legs are burning, it's so much fun that I don't even notice. What a remarkable turnaround. It wasn't long before Lexi was losing on average a whopping 20 pounds a month. She was giving it her all at her pulse classes, and the results were pretty clear to see. Indeed, there was no better illustration of this determined young woman's incredible efforts than when she posted this picture of her in her wedding dress on her Instagram page. Her followers were astonished. And it wasn't just Lexi who was benefiting from the new health and fitness regime. Dani too was starting to feel the effects of exercise and healthy home-cooked food. When he started his regime, Dani weighed in at 280 pounds. After a year of exercise and healthy eating, he had lost an incredible 100 pounds. He couldn't believe the transformation, and neither could Lexi and his friends and family. Lexi carried on logging her progress through her Instagram page called Fat Girl Fed Up. She cataloged her entire journey on her page, alongside posting inspirational quotes to inspire others to do what she was doing. It wasn't long before her Instagram had hundreds of thousands of followers. It wasn't long before the news media picked up on the couple's incredible journey either, that was inspiring thousands of people on the internet. Soon, TV shows and magazines were beating a path to their door, wanting to share their incredible story with their audiences and readers. Not only had the couple lost an incredible amount of weight, they were also now stars. Not in their wildest dreams could they have ever imagined that this was how things would turn out. Together, the pair lost an incredible 400 pounds. To reward themselves for all their hard work, Lexi finally got her wish as the pair jetted off to the wizarding world of Harry Potter in Universal Studios in Orlando. It was a dream come true. Finally, Lexi was able to fit into an airplane seat and go to the places she'd always dreamed of going. She'd been perfectly happy when she weighed 485 pounds, but admitted things had gotten a whole lot easier since losing so much weight. I'm grateful for every single day, and I'm enjoying the journey, she told her followers. Every day is a non-scale victory and a reminder of how far I've come. Like, I love myself even at 485 pounds, but just to be able to wake up and do whatever I want to do and go wherever I want to go, I don't feel like a prisoner in my own body anymore. Lexi and Dani's story was so inspirational that the pair were invited to the Screen Actors Guild Awards in 2018 to share their incredible story. They walked down the red carpet with confidence and grace. You would never have guessed that just 2 years before, they were two overweight people sat on a couch stuffing themselves with junk food. There are no words to explain the feeling of saving your own life, Lexi said. Going into 2018, I have nothing but a newfound happiness for this life I am living. I no longer am a prisoner in my own body, and instead of just existing in my own life, I'm finally alive. 2 years to completely turn your life around? Sign us up.